our feathers are all done, I went ahead and just knocked off the little points sticking up. That way they won't break off later. See, that stuff is pretty tough. So what's next is we're going to do some burning on the head. Got my burning tool here. And down just a little. Get all the kinks out of the wire. Now I always burn the hair just the first part of it, because when I paint, I want a good separation of the colors. So that's how you do that, by burning the area. Between where the colors change. And being the hair is black and the face is flesh colored, we want to make sure there's a good solid break between that dark and the light. Find a way to get in there. Messing something up. Again, we don't know what color the braids are going to be yet, but I want to make sure that we've got the color blocked. I have to stop a minute and sharpen my pen because it's just not burning good. So let me do that and then I'll be back. Alright, that's much better. Get a good clean line with these burners, you need it to be sharp. And I like to just go down the line here and burn this crease, even though there's no color difference here. It cleans out all those little fuzzy things. Like that. And also, you can burn these lines around the braid. like that. I won't do it over here. I mean, I'm going to do it over there, but we got to move along here. Okay, on the face. Now on the face, you don't want to get carried away with these. You just want to highlight little certain areas. Okay, here we'll start here on this indentation. Just quickly, just make a mark and just kind of bleed it out real fast. Turn my pen down just a bit. Up here on the nose. Down some more. And I think I'll stop right there. I don't want to get too... Like I say, you don't want to be too carried away with it. That helps quite a bit. Well, heck, I'll just go ahead and burn these and get this thing over with. There we go. Alright, put these feathers back on. Now these feathers, you can mount them, you know, this gives you opportunity to mount them any way you want. Like I like that right there because that's just a little bit different than this guy over here. Okay? So like I said earlier, we could stop right now with this if you wanted to because it's an Indian bust. And then you could paint, go ahead and paint it. And it would be a, oh, there's one more thing we have to do, and I'll do that right now, just looking at that. But anyway, after we get this next part done, you could go ahead and paint it and you'd have a complete Indian bust. So what we're going to do now is we're going to texture the fur onto this robe. So as I burn this in here. That's where I kind of carved that out there, except that braid. Alrighty, and we're going to do that over on another area over here, okay? Okay, got my Dremel here. I've got me a stoning bit in here. I guess you can see that. What it's going to do, it's going to carve a groove, okay? Now this robe is folded over, so all the hair on the robe will be going down from here. So it'll be a fairly easy thing to do. So here we go. It's going to create a lot of noise and dust, at least for me, not for you. So here we go. Now you see how the fuzz bumped up there? If we turn this around, we don't get that so much. So you can see that that's creating a nice texture for fur, and once you paint that, it'll be even better looking than before. When I dig down deep like that, I'm just creating a little more interest on the fur. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing that over the rest of this, and then I'll show you how to tie this in with these areas we can't get to with this wheel, okay? So we'll be back here in a little bit. Okay, what I did was once I got all of it done all the way around, I'll take his head off here, I took my burning pin and I just sort of tied in the rough areas with my burning pin up to the edge of the overlap of the fur. Now next thing I'm going to do is take a soldering brush here and get rid of most of the fuzz. step is to take it over to the Sandiflex wheel. Okay, I'm over here and I'm going to just buff it off because everything's finished now with this. Okay, that's all done. The fur looks really nice. You can see the shadow effect on it. That'll show up even more once it's painted. And,
if we can see it, you've got it turned towards you. There you go.
You know, there's a union. If I was a director, I'd have a union clause in my contract which said videographers should zip it.
Then all you viewers would say it.
Anyway, I know you all out there sympathize with her, I know. So anyway, we'll take this back over here. Put that there. I already went and sandiflexed his head and everything. Another good thing about that Sandiflex wheel, a lot of you wash your car in soap and water, which is something I would never ever do, because you're going to end up leaving soap residue in your carving no matter how much you rinse it. Because the first water you put on the carving is the one that soaks in most, and the rest of the water that comes afterwards just sort of lays on top. So you're never going to get rid of whatever you put on your carving. So that Sandiflex wheel takes off the ridges of the carving, and that's where the dirt collects. So if you have one of those, you know, don't worry about washing your carvings in soap and water. And take my advice, don't worry about washing your carvings in soap and water anyway. Just throw your glove into the washing machine every once in a while and keep your hands clean, and you won't end up with dirty carvings. Okay. In the next video, like I mentioned before, if you want to stop here, by all means stop here. There's nothing wrong with that. The carving is basically finished. I mean, I've carved lots of, or painted, reached this point and painted lots of pieces from this point on, and they've turned out great. What we're going to do in the next video is start working on this shield, which is just another little detail which goes with this piece here. And as you can see, once it gets on there with all its, you know, all the detail of the shield and the painting and the feathers and everything else, it's going to be a pretty involved piece of work. At least I hope so. So until then, I'll talk to you later.